Oh, good evening. Healthy Nature program. Um, we meet again. This is the October 8th meeting. And today we're going to focus on what I named as emotional balance. And those of you who can open the camera, it will be much more comfortable and warm here. Thank you. And I'm going to address this concept. Like always, I would like to shake the concept and to give a fresh view on the common way to address emotional balance, especially with my experience in psychiatry. I know the way medicine views emotional balance, the modern medicine, unlike maybe the Chinese medicine, the modern medicine, psychiatry, not only psychiatry, views emotional balance as a kind of steady state, a state in which no radical things take place. Quietness. Everything is good. Everything is normal. Everything is more or less predictable. You wake up in the morning, you do your things as you are expected to do. You go to work, you function properly, you go back, you behave properly in your family. You don't have sleeping disorders. Your appetite is okay. You're good. You're good. Emotional balance. You don't have significant depression. You don't complain about significant anxieties. Like my father used to say, no news, good news. Okay, so it's a kind of hello, Emma. So lovely to
Hello,
see
hello.
young faces here. So the concept is not only in medicine, also in society, that healthy or normal means no problems, no major problems, no major distractions. So if you don't cause much trouble, if you don't cause much noise, much friction, you're okay. Okay. Everything's okay with you as far as psychiatry is concerned. As long as you don't have something radical, as long as you function as you're supposed to function, you are balanced. And this is a very popular concept, and not only as far as emotions, but overall. Overall, when we see people, as long as they don't do something unusual, strange, extraordinary, we think they're okay, normal, everything's good, quiet. So let's say Paula now is in a bus or a train, right? I guess everyone's sitting their places, looking at their smartphones, right? And have their headphones and do not disturb each other. So we good. And it's better this way that no one creates noise or problems. So Paula can be with us here in this meeting. But when we go deeper, a little deeper, and we check the emotional space, the psyche, with a little bit more interest and curiosity, we find that what we need as far as emotional balance is far more than things will be okay or there will be no major problems. For example, do we measure or evaluate the amount of pleasure we have daily? Is it part of emotional balance? Is it part of normality? Is it a part of being okay, or is it a privilege that you may have once in a while? Another example, as far as psycho-creative point of view, what is the kind of language you have within yourself? Is it a friendly language? Is it supportive language? Or is it a critical language with no tolerance and lots of self-disappointment or self-criticism? People may seem quiet and balanced, but inside they may be not quite satisfied with their lives. Yet, they are taught or they are used to think that they are normal and that everything's okay, and that they are not supposed to pursue something else because they are okay. Now, when we look at things from the psycho-creative point of view, it looks a little different. For us, emotional balance requires some more challenges or a wider perspective. For us, emotional balance means you feel good with yourself. You can create happiness within yourself. You can express your emotions, the nice ones, as well as the difficult ones. Otherwise, it's not really balance. It's just, you just hold things inside and repress them so no one can know what you really feel. But this is not really balance. But if you don't have the proper tools to express your emotions, to let them free, then they may not be a good way to communicate this. For example, if you don't have the tools to express your anger, your frustration, and it goes out in a way that creates fights or conflicts, then you have problems with these emotions. So you say, I prefer not to express them. But if you go through the psycho-creative way, you have routes to express your emotions through intuitive writing, intuitive painting, intuitive dancing, intuitive arts. And there, your emotions can be expressed freely with no limitations, and they cause no harm, no problem. And then you feel better with your emotions. Then you have more balance. So, in our perspective, the real balance is not a flat line. No, it is something like this. It's something that is in a continuous motion. And it is something that we need to, how do you say it in English? I don't know, that we need to nurture or to strengthen regularly in order for us to have it. For example, if we want to have an open relationship with ourselves, so we can allow ourselves to feel a variety of feelings, we may need to create self-love atmosphere within us. So this love will say it's okay to feel whatever I feel, even if it means that I hate or I jealous or I am angry, or I love, I'm happy, I'm satisfied, etc. Self-love gives the message that All emotions are legitimate and important, and all should be addressed with respect. Again, if I don't have self-love within me, if I'm not able to say, I love you, you're okay, you're perfect, everything you feel is okay, then some of my feelings will not be accepted by me. I will be intolerant to my own feelings. I will start being angry and critic about myself. And this is not really emotional balance, even if other people will say, well, you look okay, you're quiet, you go to work, you don't shout, you're okay. But something wrong is developing inside quietly. When you don't have the legitimacy for all the emotions to flow and to be expressed and to have room. So, as far as psycho-creative way, and this is why I sent you, and I'm going to continue sending you chapters from the intuitive painting book, we need some places for us to discharge emotions in a creative way. Let them free, let them express themselves. Otherwise, they're kind of accumulate inside us and become a kind of burden. And whenever we truly need to express them, we don't really know how to do it. It's a bit complicated or clumsy because we don't have the creativity and flexibility to use them. So for us, emotional balance always means that I have some emotional creative outlet. This is why I highly recommend to practice, see it's very hot here, to practice intuitive painting or intuitive writing, things that you may not be required to do usually at your work or in university. You will be required to do things that are more related to your logical brain, not intuitive one. But your logical brain will not help you balance your emotions. It is not its job or ability. The logical brain will try to put some logic in your emotions. Maybe if you tell you, hey, relax, do not exaggerate. Come on, it's not right to be angry here. It's not right to express pain here, because this is what logic is able to do. Or logic will say, well, it is illogical for you to be angry now. Sorry, it is not accepted here. I don't see any reason for you to be angry. Logical. So this is why we need things like self-love, self-acceptance, self-support, so our emotions can feel free to flow as they are. Hello, Eva. Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Okay, a lovely smile. This is part of emotional balance, lovely smile. Yeah. And again, the model that I told you before about being very, very normal usually does not contain lovely and big smiles. Just be okay, do your job, do the things that you're expected to do, and you're okay, as if you're balanced, but you are not balanced. Because you hold too much emotional energy inside you, and it creates silent pain. It creates frustration. It creates heaviness. It creates a wall between you and your passion, your self-fulfillment. We need the flow of our emotions for so many things. And you know that making a flow in our emotions is not really hard. It's a matter of some symbolic gestures around the day and some practice, even 10, 20 minutes, and that's all. So it does the work. But if we forget it, if we neglect it, if we don't give our emotions some space to express themselves freely, they cannot be in balance. For emotions to be in balance, they have to have like a continuous channel so they can flow. So they can flow from the inside to the outside. This is what it's like a river, you know, that the water need to flow so the river is balanced. If you block the river, you have problems. Okay, you're flooding the area. You need the water to flow, and if they stop, you will have disease over there. You have problems if the water stops. They need to continue flowing. So this is what we need our emotions to be in. I, for example, begin my day in the morning in writing morning pages. Every morning, the first thing I do, I put a paper on the table, I take a pen, and I just write everything that comes to my mind, nonsense, serious things, non-serious things, everything, dreams. I write 1.5 pages every morning. So I start moving the emotional energy to the paper. This is how I begin my day. So my emotional system knows that every morning it will have a place to express itself. So it is relatively relaxed because she will have, it's like you go to therapy, you know that once in a week you'll be there and you will be able to express yourself. It's okay. I have a place to tell things that no one can hear, only my therapist. So you can be your own therapist. Using emotional creativity techniques, you can have the freedom to express your emotions and at the same time to practice your creativity and feel better. Again, someone just joined us. Piotr or Peter? What is the name?
Peter. I prefer Peter.
Okay, hello, Peter. So I'm not the only male here. Good to know. So we've been talking about emotional balance. How is your emotional balance, Peter, today?
Right now I feel good. So thank you for asking. And yeah, what the weather is not so good. So it's not the perfect 10 out of 10, but it's good.
Yeah, yeah. I think that you have a good energy. This is what I hear from you. Is it correct?
I
Are you going back from work now?
yes.
Okay. So what we've been talking here is that emotional balance is not just the absence of problems. It's not just being okay or doing the thing that you're expected to do. It is a kind of continuous flow where we can give our emotions a free space to express themselves in a creative, spontaneous way. And then we can have this flow, we can feel this flow inside us throughout the day, just because our emotions got their place to go. So they are kind of relaxed, kind of balanced. So this is why I recommend to you practice intuitive painting, practice intuitive writing. I know that if you are not used to do it, it's not easy to begin because we are trained so heavily to criticize ourselves or to think that we need to think before we act. We need to think before we create. There is a saying in Hebrew. I think I told you this before because I tend to repeat the things that I'm saying. There is a saying in Hebrew from our tradition. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. So it means you should think before you do something. Okay, this is the the meaning of this statement. And you don't need the Jewish tradition for this. You have it in every tradition. Every Western tradition is you need to think before you do. You need to calculate, you need to plan, you need to predict, you need to make the right choice based on the experience, and you don't need to rush. You don't need to be too spontaneous. And when this is our education, and this is our tradition, and this is our culture, we tend to behave this way, all of us. So if I'm telling you, write a story, and then you look at the paper and you ask yourself, oh, but how do I do it? How do I make the right story, the good story? How do I plan it? What are the rules? What are the tools? What I'm expected to do? And then you think. And you expect that your thinking will give you the answers of how to do. Many times it doesn't. In terms of spontaneity, in terms of creative flow, logic does not help us. Because this is something that should come from our heart. It is from a different place, from our stomach, from our guts. It comes from a different place. This is a different skill. It is a skill of being able to take the material, let's say colors or your pen, and just begin flowing without knowing where it will take you. This is a different skill. So in this sense, we reverse the statement, think before you do, to do before you think. And we may be afraid to do it because we made some mistakes in the past and things not always go the way we predict or would like them to do. So we are careful. We don't want to do hasty things and find ourselves making a mistake. Again, this is our very developed self-critic that is there to prevent us from being in a flow. Going back to the subject of this meeting, emotional balance. So the conclusion that I'm offering you is that for us to have a better emotional balance, which is something that we continue practicing every day, we need to reduce the criticism. We need to reduce the level of thinking before playing or doing creative stuff. We need to reduce the thinking of, is it okay? Is it important? Is it worthwhile? Is it nice? We need to put them aside and practice spontaneity. Just do it. Just do it, even if it is nonsense, ugly, stupid, just do it. Yes, become a child, just do it, enjoy yourself. Because when you do it, your emotions get the opportunity to express themselves freely. When you think too much, you cannot feel, it's two things that we cannot do together. Think logically and feel emotions. It's either one of them. You can either think logically in a linear way, or you can feel, and this goes to the emotions and the imagination. It doesn't go through an order. It's not a straight line. It's something like this. So you can either be here or here. And it's good to be here, and it's good to be here. But the problem is that we are used to be too much in the thinking place. But the emotional space is something that we need to be more. Because for some tasks and things, we need our logics to plan and to do things right. This may require some times of the day, but in all other times, the most dominant thing that we need to do is to feel. So, for example, when you listen to me, when you walk the street, when you drive, when you communicate, when you are in a bus, in a train. You don't have many logical things to do, but you have a lot of emotional things to do with yourself. So, in many ways, for emotional balance, for having the emotions spaced in the right place, in a healthier place, we need to reverse the statement to do before you think. First do, then understand. Sometimes we need to just move, start doing, and then we understand. Because emotions and our impulses, creative impulses, are faster than thinking. Okay, so what I present to you here about the concept of emotional balance is actually a dynamic emotional balance, something that is constantly in motion. It never stops. It never stays in the same place. It's a relative balance. It's an ongoing changing balance. I think it's a more interesting balance because it is not predicted, it is playful, it is ever changing. But if we want really to feel this balance, we need to join this motion. And for this, we need to give ourselves more room for spontaneity and creativity so we can actually be there, or playfulness, or laughter, or just, doing unimportant things and give them a better space in life. So this is our foundation in the psycho-creative space of emotional balance. So now I am inviting you to say what you feel about what I presented to you today, how you feel about this concept, about dynamic emotional balance. Do you agree? Or you don't agree, or you have questions? Please share your thoughts so we can understand how it works in your mind. And I can understand if you understood me. By the way, these are not things just to understand. That's things that you can understand only if you implement or practice. Okay, I see that Leora is raising her hand.
Yes, hi. So we have this this need to keep the emotions flowing and having a creative outlet for it. Am I understanding it correctly that we set aside a time to let this be expressed, and then we go back to just trying to maintain being aware of the exaggerated critic part of ourselves? But as far like does it expand into the rest of our, I mean, in another way? Like, is there a set time to do the flow? And then we kind of slow the flow down to back to reality, kind of more logical thinking? Or
All right, good question. Next week, I'm going to share with you a new book that I published in Hebrew yesterday in our community. And it is called The 7 Pillars of the Psycho-Creative Temple. Why am I telling you this? Because over there we have 7 basic principles. We call them the pillars of the Psycho-Creative Temple. That all of them together create all the psycho-creative approach or philosophy. And the 7th pillar, which is actually the conclusion of all of them, we call it the healthy nature principle. Okay, the healthy nature, maybe I mentioned it once in a while, but what you said, Laura, is related to this. So, what is the healthy nature principle? This principle says that we are born with a large set of positive, even divine qualities. They are there when we come to the world. But for these qualities to be expressed and present and helpful, they need to be practiced, trained, and encouraged. So if a child practices creativity from early age and is encouraged, then he will feel very good with his creativity. He will have no problem. It will be no complex things for him because this thing was practiced. So his healthy nature of being creative is active. But if you don't practice your healthy nature, it stays very, very small, or even as if disappears, and then you may even have its shadow, its opposite. So if you don't practice creativity, you have stagnation. If you don't practice love, you have fear. You have the darkness as the mirror image of the positive quality. Okay? And this darkness can be very addictive and creates problems just because your healthy nature is not functioning over there. So another nature is functioning over there. So instead of healthy optimism, you get pessimism just because you didn't practice optimism. You don't know about this. So all you know is pessimism. Okay? So if you grow to think that you're not creative, this is what you think about yourself. You become non-creative. You become pessimistic. You become skeptic. So, regarding your question, Laura, once we practice our healthy nature of being emotional creative, it starts working in autonomous way. Okay, so it's not totally separated between the time you practice and the other times. The more you practice, the more it goes to the other times of your life, to other places of your life. You become more emotional creative. The healthy nature starts working. But when you practice it, you need to be as free and as wild as you can be. This is your gym, your practice space. There you want to be as radical. You want to do it as strong as possible, so you have good training in these 20-30 minutes, okay? And then it will last then in the other hours, the memory of this strong training. So in other places where you have to be serious and responsible and presentable, in your heart, you will still feel the motion of this energy that you practice in the morning. Now, especially if you do it every day. So it's like an engine that starts working, and in time you find out that in other things you become more emotional creative. You find yourself more spontaneous in other places. You become braver. You suddenly see that you are connected better to your passion, and that you start refusing doing things that are not okay with you, things that you agreed to do before, because it's not in alignment with your emotional creativity anymore. It's not in alignment with your new energy. So this is the answer. It's a matter of continuous practice. It's like the good energy accumulates. Like the bad energy can accumulate, the good energy can accumulate. This is why my recommendation, do it daily and do it in the amount of time that it's okay for you. If you can do it daily, more or less, in time, it will have its automatic and autonomous work by itself. I have so many examples from my students and followers that this is the result. We're talking about months of training, of course, because we need to change habits of years. It's like, you know, cleaning rusty pipes. Lots of bad things accumulate there. We need to clean them gradually. We need to get used to new habits. It takes time, but there is a healthy nature over there waiting to be awakened again. It is always there. The healthy nature doesn't leave us, but the the condition that is there, you will not have your healthy nature unless you practice it, unless you give it a room, unless you give it attention. Okay? And the same goes for self-love. If you practice self-love, you will have more self-love. Yes? But if you don't practice it, you don't have it because you don't let this quality grow within you. All right. Malgosia, is it the same? It's not Malgosia. No. Malgorzata. How do you say it?
My name is Gosia.
Oh,
Its longer version is Małgorzata, but maybe Gosia is simpler, yeah?
Gosia is simple, of course.
Yeah. It is very interesting subject for me. I want to say hello because I am first time online because I listened to your lessons before on YouTube.
Okay.
But for me it is very interesting subject because you know emotions it is very difficult subject because my work was to hide my emotions. All my life I tried to hide my emotions, and it wasn't very good for me to express. I am a dentist, and it helped me with my job to hide my nervous Viola.
But your clients, I guess,
Yeah.
sometimes did have pain or ow, ow, ouch. Of course.
I am a dental surgeon, you know, so it is good to be cold in my emotions. Yes.
So do you give enough anesthesia, I guess?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I tried.
All right.
But you know, it is very nice to hear you because I want to learn how to express in new way my emotions, but it is very, very difficult for me.
All right. So I have two things to say to you, Gosha. For now, I may have more than two things. First, one of my best friends is my dentist. He lives in our village. We know each other for years. And for me, although I don't like being treated in my tooth, but meeting him is like meeting good friends. We always laugh together. And he also tells me things about his life, but he can express his emotions. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to be his friend. And the other things related to this topic is that you can separate the territories. When you need to be professional and you need to be very precise, you need to be focused, okay? So it's not the best time for spontaneous emotional flow, but you are not all the day in your clinic. You have time at home, or you have times of, the weekend. And all you need for you to get better is to start practicing. And I guess you are in the WhatsApp group, and where I shared, I think, already 6 chapters of a book, instructions, how to practice intuitive painting. And it is not related to talent in painting or anything. It is just something to practice your emotions with colors. Everyone can do it. Okay, so my advice to you is open the book, see chapter 1, read it, and then do the exercise at the end of the chapter, okay? This is one recommendation. Second recommendation, I also attached, I think today or yesterday, a new book, How to Reduce Self-Criticism. And you have a lot of it, don't you? Of course, you have to. Otherwise, you couldn't suppress your emotions. You need a critic to say, shh, do not say what you feel. It's not appropriate here to say what you feel, okay? But if you want your emotions to be free, you need to reduce the walls. So you have a book about reducing self-criticism, and you have a chapter, and you have an exercise at the end of the chapter. Do it. And share your work in the group. Now, if you are not one of the admins, send me a message and I will make you admin so you can share your exercise with the group. Now, this is how it works in the psycho-creative space. You practice, you change. There's no other way. I mean, you practice, you change. You practice, you develop. If you don't feel ready to practice, it's okay. You can be with us, you can listen, and maybe later you will decide to practice. But if you really want to see how the things I'm telling you become alive in your life, practice, play, okay? And in future, we are thinking about having first workshop in Poland, aren't we? Yeah, we've been starting to discuss this. So we will meet someday and do it together. But until then, I'm giving you information. Next week, I'm giving you the book about the Psycho-Creative Temple codes. You can start reading and we will discuss them. So in this space, if you come to the Zoom meetings or watch the better you come than watching the recordings. And then when you start practicing, you will start seeing that your emotions are alive. Even if you repress them for years, they are always there waiting for an opportunity. Okay? Even as a dental surgeon, yes. You're still human. Okay, Gosha. So this
Yes,
is
thank you. Thank
I
you.
would say Dr.
Understood.
Gosha.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you for sharing and thank you for asking. And I'm happy to give my advice to every one of you who's asking for it. All right. And what Gosha told us is so popular, not only in dentistry, almost every place. We are expected to be serious, to be responsible, to be quiet, to be focused, to do the job, not to deviate from the right path. And it's okay, but if we take it too seriously, we lose our emotional vitality. And many good things are prevented in our life because of this. So we don't have much connection with our passion, with our dreams, with our desires, with our emotional uniqueness. Many good things that you can achieve if you give space for this. All right, good. Who else wants to talk to us, to share things, thoughts, or to ask a question, or ask for my advice? Yeah. If no one wants to share something, I will give you some exercise now so we can do it together. Okay? So we have 3 main exercises that we do here. The first is the sentence completion exercise. The second is writing songs. The third is writing stories. Okay? Now, Gosha, because it's the first time you're here and you haven't experienced none of them, right? So I'm giving you the privilege to decide what kind of exercise you want me to give to you. You don't know about them anything. You just guess. Which one do you pick?
Maybe writing?
So the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. So it is called sentence completion exercise. I'm giving you a part of a sentence. You write it and you complete it as fast as you can. And you repeat this action 12 times. You write the whole sentence and complete it 12 times rapidly, because the faster, the more intuitive. Don't think, even if you write nonsense. Okay, and you write the whole sentence. And only when you finish the 12, let me know that you finished. Okay? And it is important to do it fast as you can, fast in your way. Okay, so here is the sentence. When I let my emotions flow freely, I will probably. Again, when I let my emotions flow freely, I will probably. 12 times. You can write it in Polish if you want, if it's easier for you. Better in your mother tongue, it's okay. But when you read to us, you read in English. All right, has anyone finished?
I finished.
Oh, who said this so quickly?
Paula.
Hello, Paula. Okay,
And hi.
good job. Ah, see you arrived home. Good.
Yes, finally.
Okay. Okay. So, who wants to read the 3 last sentences that you wrote to share with us?
So I can say,
Okay, Paula.
if I let my emotions freely, I probably would sing loudly, would hug from all of my power, I don't know. And I would sorry, I can't read my words.
Okay.
I would drive fast.
You will drive faster.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Sounds like things related to freedom. Yeah, good. We will have other meetings about the concept of freedom. Who else wants to share your last 3 sentences? You know what happens when you share? When you share, it becomes stronger because you take it out to the world. It's like kind of declaration. When other people hear your declaration, yeah, I tempted you, right? I made you do it, Eva. Okay.
Okay, I'll try. When I let my emotions flow freely, I see more light. When I let my emotions flow freely, I do not afraid. When I let my emotions flow freely, I can run.
All right, so you will also be faster.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So the general thing here is that when you are used to, like Gosha told us, when you are used to not express your emotions, they become kind of frightening part of our being. It's dangerous to express your emotions. They become kind of inner monsters, while they are not. So if you want to get to know your feelings and to see that they are not just monsters, they are source of pleasure and healing and joy and freedom, you need to let them out so they will show you their quality. And the psycho-creative way gives you relatively easy tools to practice how to let your emotions go out in a safe place so nobody is disturbed because it's just your work. You're not throwing your emotions on someone, it's just on a paper. No one gets hurt. The paper receives everything. Okay? So you can repeat this exercise every day, these 12 sentences, even if you have similar answers, and you will have also new answers. You will see that you bring new and new and new answers. Yes, Laura?
Can I read you 3 of mine?
Of course.
Okay, when I let my emotions flow freely, I will sing loudly. When I let my emotions flow freely, I will run through the grass. When I let my emotions flow freely, I will smile at everybody.
Oh, that's great. It's like we have some common energy here. You will all of you will run faster, and all of you will be heard stronger. And there are things that are different from each other. Okay, anyone else wants to share with us? Yes, Gosha. Wait a second.
Okay. If I let my emotions flow freely, I probably will be happier. When I let my emotions flow freely, I probably will begin something new. If I let my emotions flow freely, I probably will like myself more.
Good job. Good job. You're about to do great work with yourself. I can see it from now. All right. That's it. Very nice work from you. Thank you. Those who shared or those who didn't share. I recommend to do it you can share it also in the group, the whole 12 sentences in the WhatsApp group. Again, if you're not admin, just let me know. I do it just because we had serious spam before, and so I made it only admin can comment, but we have many admins in the group, so you can also be there. All right, so we're going to stop here. We talked about some things about emotional balance, a huge topic. I will see you again next Monday. And we're going to continue this journey, this emotional creative journey. Thank you very much, and pay attention to the books I'm sending you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very
Good
much.
night.
Thank you very much. Bye.
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 Bye bye.